Yes, I, Super Tenno Boy, and welcome back to my wonderful, wonderful adventure map. And so, as you can see here, we are just entering the first dungeon of my map. So yeah, I finally finished up Femvok here, you know, the underground city, and so I'm excited to present to you the first dungeon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've probably mentioned in earlier episodes, this is sort of the same thing you'd expect to see in a Legend of Zelda game. It's a large, usually enclosed area full of puzzles and combat and usually no characters, and it's supposed to challenge you. It usually consists of keys and a large boss at the end, and a lot of times a certain item that you get halfway through that you use to solve some of the puzzles and to defeat the boss. So here we are in the Femvokian mines. That is what I've named it for now. There's been a rather large collapse due to a certain monster, so we have evidence of that and collapsing here. We have these pillars here. This is one that is the least damaged. It's got some fire. It's got a little minecart rail going here. This one's got a chunk taken out of it. This one's got a chunk taken out of it. This one completely collapsed, which I think actually looks pretty nice. And this is just another locked door here. So, as I showed in the intro here, that was the little minecart ride that you get to go in here, and when you do, it's actually gonna show up, like, instead of Femvok, like you see right here, it'll say, like, Dungeon 1 Femvokian Mines. And then, you know, this dungeon will load, similar to how I do the cities, where when you enter a city, you know, all of its redstone loads, and then it, you know, kills all of the redstone from other cities, you know, to reduce lag. So I'm going to do that for dungeons too, except when you're finished with the dungeon, it's going to permanently destroy all the redstone. So, you know, since you probably won't be coming back, so that just will reduce a major amounts of lag. So hopefully that'll help. You guys have been saying that it's a little less laggy now with the implementation, but there's obviously still tons and tons of glitches. You can also see some evidence of it collapsing right here. A little bit of the ceiling fell, which shows, you know, why the minecart collapsed. Actually, how I have the minecarts moving is similar to how I did my custom mob pathfinding. How it works is just a minecart detects what type of hardened clay is 2 blocks below it, and I have a different color for each of the 4 different directions, and then it corresponding to that, it sets its motion in that certain direction. And I'll show you the commands for that here in a second. I also have a little jump here, and I'll show you how that works here in a second. But before we do that, I want to show you something else, and that's all the way back here. Let me just go back into Femvok here real quick. So yeah, we have these little minecarts here, and this is the door that you open to get in here, and you use these minecarts to enter the mines. But how it works is to force you to get into the dungeon via, you know, the little roller coaster there. How I have it is I have barriers here so you can't jump, but it tests for when you're in the block where the minecart is, and since there's blocks here, excuse me, I'm losing my voice a bit, so what happens then is the only way to stand in that block is to actually be in the minecart, and then when you do, it tests for a player in that spot, and it gets rid of barriers that are in front of them, and there's a little block to make the minecart go right here, but it can't go because of the barriers. So you get in, deletes the barriers, and you're on your merry little way through the little minecart track here. Yay! And then we got the little jump. Ta-da! And we're in the dungeon. So yeah, I'm gonna start on this dungeon here. I'm still fixing tons of bugs. That's why I haven't gotten a lot done, because there's still so many bugs in this map that I'm trying to fix. Tons of glitches. So keep telling me, just keep reporting them to me, and I'll keep trying to fix them as best as I can. So this is all the redstone for the minecarts. It's just a few command block minecarts. This one's disabled because it's not necessary. Oh, excuse me there. That happens sometimes. So yeah, what this one's doing is this one's for the jump. If the minecart is in the area of the jump with a 7-block radius, then we just set its motion with an x value of 1, and a Y value of 0.1, which just keeps it kind of hovering. It's not very jumpish, but it does the trick. As I said, yeah, it's kind of just hovery. I tried to make it more of a leap, but it didn't quite work because it was inconsistent using, you know, command block minecarts here, because they're not exactly the fastest clocks. And then these four are just for the 4 different directions, the 4 different blocks that I have controlling the directions. Let me just get these out here. So we have north. Well, let's actually see the directions here. Yeah. So we got north, south, and then east and west. And so if you have a minecart that is 2 blocks above it, then it will go ahead and just move the corresponding direction here. Let's get these going the opposite way real quick. Oh goodness, I put the south one here on the east. Here, let me fix that. So how it works is it just detects the block 2 blocks below it, makes it move that direction. It's just a quick little execute command here. Execute minecart writable, detect 2 blocks below it, stained hardened clay with its, you know, proper value for its color, and then sets its motion using entity data. So pretty simple, but I like it way better than, you know, being forced to use powered rails, because in my opinion, powered rails look really ugly for adventure maps. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little bit, and in the comments, I want you guys to tell me what you think the item or the main ability that you get in this dungeon that you'll use throughout the map, mostly in this dungeon, and to defeat the boss. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just look up some Legend of Zelda dungeons. My original, I preferably want it to be some sort of concept that I've done before, like my rewind time contraption. I was originally going to do that, you know, where you take a clock and then you press Q and then it takes you back a few seconds of where you were last time. I'll have that linked to the description. But I don't know how practical that would actually be in a medieval combat-based map. So I decided I probably won't use that. If you guys think I should, then I guess I will. I also thought about implementing my slime walls thing, except instead of just using slime blocks to climb on, it would work for pretty much any block that's like inside. No blocks that are like, you know, outdoors, so you can't escape the map, but like, you know, stone brick, stone, certain logs, stuff like that, you know, just to get around, something that preferably has something to do with transportation. If you guys have any ideas for that, or Legend of Zelda adaptations of items that you can think of, tell me in the comments, and I will try my best to make that into the item for this dungeon. But I think that's about it. If I left anything out, you can go ahead and just tell me in the comments. I'm a bit winded here because I've already recorded this video 3 times, and I'm a little confused about what to do next on this dungeon because I've been fixing bugs forever and ever, and I haven't actually had enough time to think too much about this. So yeah, hopefully I can get more of this done, get you guys another episode here in a week or 2. Can't wait to see what you guys think. Download, as always, will be in the description. And, as always, thank you for watching.